first artist that flew me from South Africa to come shoot a video was Shiba. It was Jeff Chivo. I think we did was Jordan for Shiba.
Okay.
We came, there was I've never seen a huge number of people on set ever. The whole industry was waiting for this Muzungu man coming from South Africa to come and shoot a video. So I get on set, they're like, hey, bagendo kulaba kagai kali yao with dreadlocks. I was very tiny by then. They find like a small guy that, you know, so I'm doing stuff on set, like everybody was like, who is this guy? So most people didn't even know him, so they thought, so it was that mysterious, like I was that mysterious in the way that it actually gave me the mileage.
Were you like intentional about that? Like, you know?
How I just came out of nowhere. People thought I came out of nowhere, but I was actually in the industry. So I laid a few foundations. I made a song for Shiba, then I went back to South Africa.
Because I was wondering, like, how is this working? You're in film school?
Yeah, I was in film school in first year. And I remember when I even got to film school, I was way ahead of the people I was studying with because I remember I had the experience already. Came back, and these guys were actually studying on how to switch on the camera. I'm like, guys, please. We're
still doing that.
So I was ahead. My teachers were very annoyed of me because I was always trying to ask questions and trying to tell them this and this and that because I knew almost everything. But it was a smooth transition, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did like a full 3 years? Was it 3 years?
I did 3 years.
You finished?
Yeah, I finished. I
nearly
never finished. I nearly never finished because I remember there's some time I used my school fees, chewed them, then I had to look for money. I nearly missed exams.
Okay.
But my lecturers really liked me so much because I was a good performer, and they let me sit for exams without actually paying the balance. So I sat, paid them later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I nearly never finished.
Okay. Was that because by then you were like working and all projects were coming
through?
I
was working, coming into Uganda, so much going on, and these are actually my early stage. The excitement in South Africa. Come on, you know, it was crazy.
Okay.
It was crazy, but.
Right. When you finished, you weren't tempted to stay on?
No, it's so weird because when I go to South Africa, most people what they were doing, because most people hear about sangomas and all people are doing stuff and people are scamming and stuff. I never really wanted that.
Okay.
Most people are even surprised. They're like, this guy Onange, guy focused.
Because you had a chance to stay there.
Yeah, I had a
yeah.
proper chance, but I didn't want that. It was just.
So you didn't like the country?
The
insecurity is also there.
It's not even about insecurity. I loved everything. The clubbing was great. Everything. The nightlife was amazing. But it's just that I wanted to, because the industry there is so flooded. I didn't want to stay there. There's so much competition. You can't. I've always wanted to stand out. That's my problem. So it's like, you know what? I can only come back to Uganda and shoot my content, and because I had a hit song already. So like, you know what? I just have to go back home.
Okay.
I left South Africa, came back, and boom.
All right.
I never looked back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I think why a lot of people paid attention to your videos is the quality. Because you talked about even just getting to HD.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, we had great music, but you'd watch our videos and you'd be like,
yeah.
And then when you look at all the Nigerian music videos or the South African music videos, we're like, when are we ever going to get there?
I understand. Because I think, to be honest,
was that a challenge that you took on?
Yeah, it's also when I went to South Africa. It's to be honest, film school didn't teach me that much. I'm sorry to say, but what film school gave me was the confidence, and the people that I was with, the confidence to create, confidence to push for that quality. So, because I was in that league of people who are so experienced, when I came back here, I was way ahead. Like I was just ahead of the industry. When I remember when I came back in Uganda, and back then videos were so cheap. The most expensive videos in 2012, 2011 were around like 3 million, 2.5. That's like the most expensive videos. So I think when I go back, it gave me, because you know how Ugandans get excited. Hey, Bananga with South Africa. Oh, no, okay, Kali. So I had to hack. It was because when you're shooting a video, there's so many things that come with it. You know, if you have the right budget, you can actually execute more than actually having a smaller budget. So I pitched these guys, I'm like, listen, cameras cost this and this. You want to compete with the Nigerians. You want to stand out. You want to have your video play on Tress. This is the package that I'm giving you. So I'm one of those people that actually changed the prices of how much videos were, because it was evident that actually when an artist would invest that much money, they would get this good of a video.
Yes.
And their video would actually now start playing on Tress, on MTV. So I convinced them. I convinced them. And slowly by slowly, other directors started picking it up.
Okay.
And boom.
So when you think of a concept for a music video, for you, was it always about, like, you could see the kind of scene, even the costume? How does it work for you?
So most of the times when an artist gives you a song is my script.
Okay.
You listen to the lyrics, you imagine an artist, what he's singing in the studio, what did he mean, what did he have in mind, or most of the artists, they actually tell you, oh, I want to have this and this in this video. So you put yourself in their shoes and you create. So you imagine how this is going to look. You imagine, oh, he's singing about the girl, I need to get this beautiful girl, stands out, chocolate skin, whatever, nice hair, tall. So that's what you actually start creating, because you're listening to this song and all these emotions are actually pouring out. So you're creating. That's actually when you write a script, come up with a concept, detailed concept, lay the budget, where I'm going to shoot, what location, what day, what time, all that is detailed. And then that's actually when you approach the artist and you give them budget. Okay, fine. If you want to achieve this, this is this. And boom, if they confirm with the budget, they give you the money, and then you start preparing and then shoot the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's the process.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, I guess, would complain at some point that music videos were all the same.
Yeah.
It was always the same thing, same girl, same shaking.
You mean
same...
mine or just you gonna?
No, like in general.
In general.
In
okay.
general, and I think one of the things that you've been able to do is try to make sure you do it differently.
Yeah.
Because I think people get comfortable.
That's true.
So
That's very true.
who do you look to for inspiration?
I look at so many people, to be honest, and I've always wanted to look at people who actually challenge me, people who are way more than me. I'll make now just name a few: Clarence Peters, James Cameron.
Sounds like he's number one.
Yeah, Clarence Peters is like top. James Cameron is a film director. Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino. So many. I can't even remember most of them. But I always look up to these people because I want to imagine myself one day being them, having the same platform they have, being able to actually push or tell Ugandan stories the way I know best.
Previously on Crystal One-on-One.
The first thing on my mind was to get a passport.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
And I went ahead and got a passport. And then I also got a chance that one of my aunties came back to me and said, you know what, let me just pay for your tuition through UMCAT. I was like, okay, everything started to happen. I started UMCAT. And actually, while I was there, I was crowned Miss UMCAT.
So you started the beauty pageant journey there?
Yeah, I started
Okay.
my beauty pageant actually way back, you know, when you
Even in high school?
even in high school.
I live in a country where the entertainment industry, I'll say the film industry, is so underrated. It is so undermined in a way that people are not actually, it's very hard to produce content here when you're in Uganda. It's so hard, the means, the whatever, everything. So it's a challenge that I took on to make sure that once I get in this industry, I would at least leave a name or leave a legacy behind. So to me, it's every day I wake up, it's a challenge that I'm trying to, pursue. Yeah.
And I was reading about you. I saw something like that. You're talking about wanting to change the film industry.
Yeah.
But it's not just about music videos that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about just films, like movies.
Yeah.
And that is also a space that we're still working, but we have a long way to go.
Yes, yeah.
Are you into film as well?
Now,
In
yeah,
that?
I came up with a script a few months ago. That was before lockdown. Initially, so many people have always approached me. Quite a few projects I've actually picked up and dropped. I remember 27 Guns, I didn't work on that, but I was initially supposed to be in a project. Beneath the Lies, so many of these projects, but I've always dropped them.
Is it
I think
because you're
I've-
busy?
No,
Is
it's
it-
just that, busy. The business is there, but I've always felt like it's not the right time. Film, and I never rush to do movies because movies, you have actually, for you to be a filmmaker, there's a library of experiences you need to have.
I mean, you mentioned James Cameron,
Exactly.
you mentioned Steven Spielberg. I mean,
These are people who are even still shooting when they're 80 years, 84, 85, 95.
or they hold on to a script for like 20 years
Exactly.
until they can shoot
Exactly.
it the way they want it.
So I respect film so much. In a way, I'm not saying young filmmakers are doing bad. It's just that me personally, I respect film so much that I was like, you know what? Because I'm a filmmaker. I'm not even supposed to be a video director. Music video, no. I did music videos to survive. Basically to survive, because I remember when I came here, that was like the hottest thing here. So to me, film is something that I actually want to pursue until old age. So I respect it so much that you actually need to have an experience when you're shooting a film, because it takes time. You need to be very humble. You need to be very patient. So it's a transition I'm actually following. So from music videos, definitely.
A lot of people are looking at doing like short films now as they, grow.
Yeah.
Are you looking
Yeah,
at that?
I'm doing a short film very soon. I teamed up with a few people. Short films are actually very easy to shoot, cheaper in budget, and easier to work on. You have a crew of very few people. You shoot it. As long as you have a great concept, straight to the point, they're cheaper to do. So definitely, I'll be releasing a few short films very soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're waiting for that.
Yeah.
What about music? Are you producing music as well?
No, I don't do audio, but I used to do audio production back then, back in the days.
You used to?
I used to DJ, I used to do audio production.
You used to DJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to DJ, I used to do audio production, but it's just for a short time. Because I was trying to figure out, where do I fit? So all this time, and then boom, I landed the camera, I never looked back.
Okay. So you've talked about some of your strengths.
Yeah.
You learn quickly, you're constantly curious, you're looking. What would you say are some of the things that have been hard for you, like you've had to really work on yourself to get better? Are you impatient? Are you...
Most of the times when you join the industry, some of these things, fame is a big problem. The excitement. Not everyone survives that. It's so much. The money's there, the girls are there. It's so much excitement. So I think it's one of the things I managed to overcome, because at my age, mind you, I'm not even 30 years. So much money is coming in, everything's there. So there's a high chance of making mistakes. So I think I've always been extra careful. But at the same time, it's something I've actually overgrown, because I have kids,
Okay.
When I had my first son, that was almost 5 years and a half ago. It just changed me a lot. So it's one of the things I faced on my other challenges, to be honest. I would say the money, the budgets. You'd have, let's say, an artist will give you the money, and then it's not enough. You find out you're running out of funds. You've not paid people.
And you promised.
Yes, you promised, but I've tried to always deliver. You borrow money, shoot content, and then give the artist their product, and then boom. So that repetition also is something that I've actually tried to fight.
Okay.
Because being in the industry for 10 years, it really takes a lot. It takes a lot of sacrifice. Yeah.
So the 10 years we're looking at, this is before the film school, when you had actually just started on your own.
Yeah.
Until now, 2020.
Yeah, 3 years unofficially in the industry. That was photography, whatever. And that's film school as well sometime, but then officially 7 years, I would say.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So did you have big plans for this year?
Do I have big plans?
Did you? I'm saying,
did I have big plans?
Because we're already in August. Yeah.
Well, of course. I had big plans this year.
So
This year is a mess.
have
man.
they been affected?
It's a mess. I don't even know, to be
There are a
honest.
few
It's a
people who are
mess.
like,
It's
"We're
a mess.
fine."
It's a mess. But I'm good. To be honest, me, I'm a happy child. I always look at my challenges as my setbacks as just challenges, but you can actually you can overcome them.
Okay.
Yeah, I was meant to start up a farm this year. I was meant to start up big, because I remember my plan was to actually get a farm, put cows, which I have already. It's just that it's not as big as it is right now, or I wanted it to be.
So is that like a side passion?
Yeah,
for
it's
you?
a side thing. A side thing. I love animals, and so my plan this year was to start up a farm and just raise goats and cows and plant food and all that stuff.
Okay.
That was my plan this year, but it's coming slowly. It's just that not on the same speed. I mean, we're on
as
lockdown
you'd
for like
wanted it to be.
4 months, and boom, all of a sudden it's August, and now it's just 4 months to December. So this year is a mess, to be honest. I don't even want to talk about
You
it.
said when you had your son
Yeah.
that your life changed.
Yeah.
What do you mean? How did it change? for you?
When you have children, they
What's
change
his
you.
name? Sorry.
It's called Riley Kaito
Riley. He's the
Akankwasa.
oldest. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have
And?
2 kids. I have a girl and a boy.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, I remember he was born 2013. When he came in, it's another challenge I had to take on, you know? And to be honest, it made me see the light because I had a responsibility. Now I actually knew where to put my money because I had a child to take care of, so I was there. I had to make sure I gave him everything he needed or he needs. So to be honest, that actually put me in the right way. It showed me what to do now. It showed me the
Do you
direction.
think that kind of helped you? Because you said one of the things was
Yes,
the fame and
it
all the
did.
money.
It
It
did.
helped to.
It did. Thank you so much, Riley. You put me in the right way. You made me responsible for that.
How old is your little girl?
She's about to make a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you one of those dads who's like super protective because she's a girl?
Now, the girl was born. I was like, yo, this is what they used to tell me. Girls, they always get that soft spot. I don't know. I'm super protective, to be honest. I'm super protective. I don't know. I don't even know where I got all that. Maybe it's nature, but yeah.
So you're going to be one of those dads.
Definitely. Definitely. But I wouldn't want to ground my child a lot because some of the mistakes parents do. Parents don't want, our African parents, they don't want to discuss relationships. They don't want to discuss what kids are going through. They don't want to discuss, they don't want to give the kids, I'm not saying you give them too much freedom, but at least talk about, talk about what they have on, inside. Talk about what they want to achieve. Let them tell you their challenges. Let them tell you who they're dating. Because some of these things, if they don't tell you, they'll end up making mistakes.
Yeah.
So pretty much it's something that I think parents need to emphasize, and I do that with my son. I know he's still young, but I make sure I give him that room to
talk and express
experience,
himself. Huh?
talk. Don't overbeat them. It's good to punish, but don't overdo that.
Yeah, but we still need to punish.
Of course, definitely. Spark them a little bit. It's just that they have to understand. It shouldn't be about them, you caning them all the time. Yeah, because now if you over cane them, then they won't even be telling you stuff. They'll just do things and they'll keep them at heart.
Is this coming from experience? Because you said you were beaten a lot.
Yeah, I think I was, but at the same time, they gave me some room to breathe as well. Gave me some room to breathe. I could experience things, but at the same time, I would come and discuss with them. But of course, I never talked about relationships with my parents. That would be another story. Trouble.
So are you in a serious relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a serious relationship.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as someone who started out really young and you were just figuring things out,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot of people who look up to you and asking for your guidance, asking for your help. Is that something you're thinking about, like mentoring and training other filmmakers?
I'm glad you've asked that question because when you asked me what was my plan this year, I had to start up a film school. So my plan, because I was like, okay, you know what? I'm making 30 years. You need to come up with something. 10 years that's experience. As a library, you've created a library, so definitely that knowledge.
You have a
It
lot
wouldn't
to
make
share.
sense if you just leave the industry or whatever, pass on without passing on that knowledge. And because I understand I've inspired so many young kids out there. I mean, I get so many emails, so many messages on my Facebook. I'm sorry, most of them I never reply them, but I can see the passion. I see myself as those kids back in those 10 years ago when I was so passionate, I wanted to create. So I was like, you know what, I had to team up with a few people to come up with a film school. So initially the whole plan was, distracted by the whole COVID-19.
Yeah.
But yeah, the film school is coming up. And I think very soon we'll be launching that. We're just waiting for the right time. So yeah, definitely I want to inspire, because to me, there's always been about inspiring people. I mean, what I create, in the videos that I shoot, it's all about, inspiration. Make people fall in love, make people be happy. That's what we do with as filmmakers, because most people don't understand, but actually, a filmmaker is I'd say one of the greatest influencers, because in life. In life. And even if you look at the whole American system of how they've managed to influence Africa, it's through
Yes.
movies.
Yes.
We've seen movies, we've watched their lifestyle, we've seen how they behave, we've copied that.
It's
It
become a
has-
part of us in so
exactly.
many ways. Yeah.
So filmmakers are actually one of the greatest weapons ever. People don't know that,
I absolutely
but
agree.
we're very dangerous.
I was watching something the other day where different cultures are like cataloging their food, and it's all through film, photography and film.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it will even go back to like art and paintings, and that is how you trace, who we
Yeah.
are as a people. And that should be what we're doing as well here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a Pan-Africanist, to be honest. I love African history, and I feel like so much injustice in Africa, and so much has not been told about Africa. So many people have no idea. People are clueless. People have no way. So I feel like as a filmmaker, there's so much to tell in Africa, and these are some of the fields people have not tapped, but there's so much, still so much to put out there.
Yeah.
And I think slowly by slowly, I will start, because I want to progress from now music videos to actually now creating movies for Africans. So that is where I'm actually transitioning to.